I'm sitting down now with the incredible actor Manu Bennett from The Hobbit, from Spartacus. He's been on our set before, but it's been years. It's so good to have you back, my friend.
Oh, it's fantastic to be back, and then we had COVID, and then, there's the strikes and everything. So I think it's been about 5 years since I was able to get back to Utah last.
You love Utah, and I know this because I
course.
just saw you at FanX with so many people lined up to get your autograph.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dan Farr who's your local, FanX, creator. I mean, he's got such an amazing show. I think the first year was 75,000 people. It was ranked number 3 in America as the largest conventions, and this year I think they topped 100,000. So it was absolutely packed, and it's not just packed with kind of, once upon a time it was kind of like, you might call it the geek community, because they're the ones who sort of invented this whole idea about reading comic books and creating a convention based upon that. But it's become such a mainstream thing that there's just there's families, boyfriends, girlfriends dressed up as Wonder Woman and Batman or something, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of
cool.
fun.
It's cool to be a geek. That's what's happened. What do you think about the fans?
They've proven themselves.
What do they say to you?
What do they say to me? A lot of them are caught up with the fact that I played Crixus, this gladiator, or I played like Slade Wilson, this guy who taught the arrow how to fight, or this orc called Azog on The Hobbit. A big thing that I didn't motion capture. So when they first come toward me, I guess they expect this person that they see on the screen, it's quite funny, because they're sort of shaking, and they're kind of like, oh, it's this warrior or this sort of thing.
And you're such a nice, personable dude.
Well, yeah, then I laugh and I say, oh, it's okay, and they're like, oh,
it's just me. It's just me.
It breaks it down. But that's the good thing about Comic-Cons, because you see these people on screens, and you think this high sort of, this celebrity thing about them, and when you come to a Comic-Con, you get to meet them, and we share stories about our experiences on film sets or TV shows. They go, really? Is that how it's done?
It's incredible access for the fans. You love Utah, not just for FanX. You have come back for a number of different reasons. I know you just got your eyes done from Dr. Monson up in Logan. How are you seeing? How are you doing?
I'm where are you? I'm sorry.
That wouldn't be good.
No. To be honest, I was given this wonderful opportunity by Dan Farr, the organizer of FanX. He was working with Dr. Monson at some stage, and he had his eyes done, and he rang me up and he said, Manu, how's your eyes? And I said, well, what at first, and I said, well, when I was 40 years old and I was working on Spartacus, I was reading my film, I was reading the scripts, and all of a sudden they started to blur. Now this is like 12 years ago now, and probably about 7 years ago, I couldn't read a script anymore without glasses. I couldn't look at my phone. I was constantly like, somebody would send me a message, and I'm like, oh, where's my glasses?
That darn aging thing, like it sneaks up on you.
That is the thing, it does. And I mean, it's about light, it's about looking up and having light come into your eyes and be put through a lens and go to your amygdala and then into your brain. It's like all of a sudden the first stage of your aging is this deterioration of light.
And you're doing this. And also you're suddenly doing this.
Yeah, but all it is it's a lens in your eye, right? And so Dr. Monson is one of these, genius.
He's incredible.
He's one of the top in the world. He's one of these people who's put in hours, and he's figured out how to do a thing called refractive lens replacement. So what he did is he went into my eye and he took out the lens that's broken. I know this sounds very, very painful and scary.
But it wasn't.
It's not.
Not when he does it.
It's worse to go to the dentist, not telling you to get a needle in your mouth. But he removed the lens that's faulty and slid in a bionic lens.
And literally you were at FanX 2 days later. We're running out of time. I know you also visited Dr. Medin, who does incredible work here in Utah for your teeth. I want, with the last 20 seconds we have, you to tell viewers what you're doing next, where they can see you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Dr. Medin for doing my teeth.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
Monson
Medin.
for doing my eyes. Utah's the fountain of youth. Come here for your doctors.
The best.
Okay, so next up, I've got something that's, all I'll say, it's about climbing mountains and going to new heights, and you'll see that early next year.
Wait, will it
coming
be
to
in
your screen soon.
Home country of New Zealand?
The first episode is going to be there. That's all I can say.
All right, Manu Bennett joining us here in Salt Lake City on our set. It's so good to have you back. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Can I brag a little bit more about Manu Bennett for just a second? After that interview, I didn't know about this, or I would have mentioned it while we were talking 2 days ago. My niece was at FanX, and it was the day after I was there, and Sydney is my favorite special human in the entire world. This is her. So she met the Weasley twins and had the money to get their autograph and picture, but didn't have money to get Manu's, but saw that he was in The Hobbit and wanted to meet him. So lined up, he stepped out from behind the desk.
Oh.
She had a picture she colored that she gave him, took the picture. He autographed one of his for her, just for her, talked to her for several minutes, and was the kindest to my niece. She's talked about nothing else since, and is the hugest fan of Manu.
What a life-changing moment for her.
As much as we look at these celebrities and we're in awe and we don't really know them personally.
Or you assume that, oh my gosh, he's on airs and he's kind of like, oh, he's got an ego. But truly, when you see the softer side, or that's just him being so kind, you become a fan.
She just got in line, gave him a little colored picture. He gave her a picture of him, and they had a moment together. And that's what FanX is all about, but that's who Manu Bennett is.
Oh.
So thank you to him. And I love that we got to show a picture of Sydney because she's so excited that she got to meet Manu Bennett.
I just love to hear that, because sometimes I think these stars must be so exhausted from the lines, those 3 days, the constant just being on, but that says everything. They must enjoy it to come and do this, and then for him to spot her and take the time, that says a lot about his character.
I'm now a forever fan.
Yeah. We are too.
And I have to say, a lot of FanX fans or guests who have come on our show have been so gracious.
I agree.
And they really do love their own fans.
Hey, Nev Campbell's still ahead, one of those that was also at FanX. We have an interview with her in just a couple minutes.
I can't wait for that one. All right.